he may be the most underutilized receiver in the NFL. I go a step further and say that he is the most underutilized receiver in the NFL, given his talent. I'm not here for the Allen Robinson slander. In a situation where he doesn't come back, which feels like it's likely, anybody out there, I mean, if you're a fantasy football guy, take this man because the talent is there. What's starting to bother me is some of the criticism he gets from the fans, right? Just last year, how many times did we see extended Allen Robinson trending on Bears Twitter? But then this year, it's just like, he was asking for too much. That's why we didn't pay him. I think it's safe to say that Allen Robinson, top 10, maybe top 15 wide receiver talent. Last 2 seasons, Allen Robinson, basically 100 catches both years. And this is with Mitch Trubisky, this same coaching staff, Matt Nagy, even past, the Bears tenure when he was playing with the Jaguars. He's kind of been known as a receiver who has been extremely productive with quarterbacks and offenses. They are just not that. I love when we get to watch the ways other teams use their best receivers and then contrast that to how the Bears do it. For example, we just saw how the Packers use Devontae Adams in so many different ways. He plays in the slot, plays outside. They do so much to get him the ball. I'm watching how the Rams use Cooper Kupp. It's screen plays, it's deep plays. Like, he may be the most underutilized receiver in the NFL. I go a step further and say that he is the most underutilized receiver in the NFL, given his talent. I mean, I love Justin Fields, but the guy has not proven that he's comfortable of moving through his progressions. On top of that, his short passing accuracy is a little shaky. So there's just so many things stacked up against him. I'm not here for the Allen Robinson slander. In a situation where he doesn't come back, which feels like it's likely, anybody out there, I mean, if you're a fantasy football guy, take this man because the talent is there.
It's tough to make assumptions or get an idea of what happens, right? Because we're not in the building, right? And obviously, Allen Robinson definitely does deserve blame, right? I mean, there's plays, but it seems like where he might kind of gave up on the play or didn't put in quite as much effort as I know that he's done in the past and that we've seen him give in the past. And granted, it could be a part of him not being targeted as much, him not being schemed in as much, Justin not looking to him as much. That's another thing. We know that Mitch looked at Allen Robinson basically all the time, anytime he dropped back to pass. So, I mean, it's difficult to say because he definitely does deserve blame, but obviously the coaching staff deserves just as much, right? Equal parts for not basically getting him involved, with him really being your best offensive player. When you look at, career talent-wise guys, I mean, he is your best offensive player, and he's not being utilized as such. I mean, we just had this discussion about some of the best receivers in the NFL over the weekend, and like you look at those teams, right? You look at a Cooper Kupp, you look at a guy like Chris Godwin, right? I mean, he gets schemed in every single play, it seems like. I mean, they find a way to get him the football in his hands. Cooper Kupp, they find a way to get him the football in his hands. Basically, these teams with their number one receivers, they find a way to get the ball in their hands, kind of no matter what. And I just feel like the Bears, they haven't done that very much, if at all.
We talk about these effort plays. It just kind of shows like where the Bears fans are with him, which is annoying. There's a play on Twitter that's kind of getting like blown up where it's showing Justin Fields in the first half scrambling out, and the clip is ridiculous because
I did see that one.
The clip doesn't even actually show the whole field. It just shows one-on-one block to the sidelines. There was actually like safeties in pursuit and linebackers in pursuit. So realistically, Justin should have really just been heading for the sidelines, not only because it was the game situation, but he just got his ribs banged up the last couple of weeks. So that's the play he should have made. Granted, that is poor effort. Allen Robinson, he's staying on that block, but it pissed me off that they just really want to show on the whole story. Like this was a touchdown. This was a touchdown block. Look out. No, it wasn't a touchdown block. So like I said, like the narrative they're trying to push on my boy, I gotta speak up. I gotta say something. Like, we gotta understand what the receiver position is. It's historically the most prima donna position in football. Like, these guys, are often the people to get the most, love, get the most endorsement deals. I mean, outside the quarterback, granted, but it's a position for like primetime players. And so at the end of the day, we can sit up here and be critical on how hard, how much effort he's doing every single play. But I mean, when you don't get the ball thrown your way, when you're not involved in the offense like the level you want to be, there's a level of like ego involved in that. There's a level of you understanding what you can do and you're not doing it. It's tough. It's tough. Pass that along with, being on a team that's not winning. Like, it's tough. So it's easy to, again, just to sit here and just dissect him every play. But like, I mean, look at Odell now. Like, look at how he's operating within the Rams offense and all the shit they used to say about him in Cleveland. Even how our boy Justin Jefferson tweeting out like he wasn't a problem. So like receivers, if anybody, they need that work, G. They need to have the balls in the hand. I mean, if they're losing games, at least have situations where they're involved in their offense. And so I honestly want Allen Robinson to stay. Like, I'm keeping the buck. I think all these Bears fans that are like so quick to look for, receivers we can draft, like, sure, that can help, but like, you can get receiver talent everywhere, for one, and then for two, like, we got a secondary issue that we need to address before we talk about receivers. But like, I would love to see Allen Robinson on a different team and kind of have those conversations about what he was with the Bears in this final season.